Well, it's Tuesday. We are back in evaluation mode. And today we're going to go back a little bit further than just the last 3 weeks. We are going to go back to the beginning of the year. What has changed in your life? What's changed appreciably? Perhaps the way that you work, perhaps the way that your children are educated. We know that it changed for a while, but things are starting to go back to normal now. But there are ways that you do things now that are very, very, very different from what you started the year doing, and going forward they will remain different if you let them. I'd like you to examine, what are your spiritual practices? Have you taken up new exercise routines? Who is it that you've perhaps gotten to know? I know one of the very interesting things about COVID and the beginning of the year is that I live in a neighborhood where a lot of people have dogs. And I would not have ever gotten to know some of those people had it not been for COVID, because I was forced to go out and walk a lot more. And I would meet people walking their dogs. And if you walk at about the same time every day, you tend to meet those same people and you make friends, just as you would if you were commuting. I remember when I used to take the subway many, many years ago here in New York City, there are certain people that I would see all of the time on the train because we took the train at the same time. And many patterns get set up because of the ways that the way that we live, or the way that we're forced to live because of jobs or because of pandemics. What's happened to you in the last year that has changed? Are you happy with the change that has happened to you since January 1st of 2021? Do you want things to be different? If you do want them to be different, how is it that you can move to make it happen? I'm a Star Trek person, and I used to love the one with Jean-Luc Picard in it. The bald guy. And it was very interesting because whenever they would tell him that something needed to be done and he was in agreement, he would pick up his finger and he would point and he would say, make it so. And what I'm asking you is, what is it that you need to look at in your life so that you can make it so? And how will you go about doing that so that you walk into 2022 a little differently, or a lot differently than you stepped into 2021? So, again, what's happened to you this year? Have you taken up a new skill that you want to improve? Have you started exercising more since you had more time at home? Or since you couldn't go to the gym, have you not exercised, and has your figure or your physique just gone wild and now you need to work on getting things back together? Are you reading more? Are you reading less? Are you cooking more because you couldn't go out to restaurants? So have you taken that new skill, and do you want to keep it going? There are so many things that we don't think about in terms of how our life has been forced to change in the last 10 months. And one of the things that has really made a big change in all of our lives is Zoom. I have been to Zoom anniversary parties. I have been to Zoom birthday parties. I've had Zoom brunches. Some of us say that we're Zoomed out, but Zoom has been a great way to keep in touch with people or to get to know people that we normally would not have had any contact with. So maybe there is something good about Zoom. Maybe not entirely, but there are some things. So what I want you to do is sit down and evaluate. Actually make a list. What happened that was great and you want to keep it or do more of it? Or what happened that was horrible and you want to get rid of it? It would be great if you would let me know in the comments or in the chat, depending on where you're watching this. Take care.